There have been record pass rates for hundreds of thousands of GCSE students in England, Wales and Northern Ireland.
Confirmed that this year's GCSEs and A-levels in England are being cancelled.
An algorithm to moderate grades.
I'm basically somebody who's meandered through education.
My name's Andy Love and I'm a teacher. This is my 30th year in secondary teaching.
So my name is Rachel. I'm a counsellor for children and young people.
Do that again. You can look at the camera as well.
My name is Claire Steiner. I am, my day job is as an HR and talent professional, and I work predominantly in the tourism industry, the travel and tourism industry.
Class of 2021 was the first year group to not do their GCSEs since their introduction in 1986. With teacher assessment used as a temporary solution, it provoked the question, was this a missed opportunity? And is it time for change? I was part of that generation, and this is my documentary. I will be speaking to educators, GCSE students, mental health professionals and business recruiters to dissect this question.
No student comes to our school wanting to fail.
Yeah.
They want to be successful. It's just they don't know how to be successful. And the success that we share as teachers always comes from the fact you've got to get a grade whatever in that exam. But success comes in many different forms. And that's what we don't share and celebrate enough. There's a cartoon, it's been attributed to Albert Einstein, but I don't think it was Albert Einstein, where there's a monkey and there's an elephant and there's a goat and a fish. And they've all been told that they have to climb the tree to be successful. And it says everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it's stupid because it can't climb the tree. I've been here 11 years at Highdown School in Reading, and I am the professional tutor, so my responsibility is to develop new teachers into the profession and also to develop existing teachers to make them better teachers.
Yeah.
And I love it. COVID was an interesting time and it was thrown together very quickly to solve a problem, but it did open up, it allowed teachers to start thinking about teacher assessment for the first time. For the first time, teachers had been given permission, had been given ownership to look at teacher assessed grades, and it empowered teachers to really look at their curriculum and look at their delivery and look at all the lovely skills that young people are developing beyond just that grade 7, 8, 9.
I started out as a secondary school teacher, did that for 8 years, firstly in Zambia after independence and then in inner London, which was an eye-opener, which led me to retrain as an educational psychologist.
Yeah.
So I worked as that and then went off to the States to do some research there around that, came back, went to an exam board for a few years, worked in vocational qualifications and then in government stuff, and then later in life became an academic.
So the decision by the government to cancel GCSEs during COVID showed that there is another way to assess students' knowledge. I was wondering what your thoughts are on teacher assessed grades.
I would like to move towards a lot more teacher assessment that way. I think one of the problems with the COVID period was that teachers have been de-skilled in that area. You know, they weren't keeping records because it's all done by exams. So there's no continuous assessment of how pupils are doing in a way that could be used to give some kind of grade or diploma or what have you. So we saw grade inflation, and that's a worry. I would be certainly in favour, but it needs to be carefully done because there needs to be a lot of professional training to work on this kind of, and we need to push back the accountability system, because in the countries that rely on teacher judgment, again, Canada, Norway, many of these countries, there's not a lot of supervision of the teachers, but nor is there heavy accountability. The schools are not being judged that way.
Not only did I speak to educators, but I also spoke to Claire Steiner, someone who played a massive part in the creation of the Travel and Tourism Diploma in the UK.
I'm the Chair of Education and Training and a Board Director of the Institute of Travel and Tourism, where I co-founded something called Future You, which is all about bringing industry and education together to hopefully inspire the next generation.
Do you feel that GCSEs are an effective measure of achievement, of pupil achievement?
Oh, that's a difficult one, because I think up to GCSE, I think a minority of young people know pretty much what they want to do. So you need to have a broad spectrum of the sort of subjects to allow you to have that knowledge across both. So part of me says yes, that I do think they're okay, but again, it goes back to how you teach them and how they're applied. So I think you need to have that. I think, up to sort of 15, 16, it's just giving you that kind of overall base, because again, even if you don't maybe enjoy one particular subject, it doesn't mean that it's not going to be important going forward. So I think there is about creating a foundation.
Yeah.
And so in that case, it's important. I just think maybe how we teach them.
How we teach it, yeah.
Yeah.
So my name is Rachel. I'm a counsellor for children and young people. I also work for a charity called Number 5. Since they changed the curriculum in 2014, it's so much more focused on this one exam. I had hoped that during COVID that the whole system would be overhauled, and it would have been a great opportunity to review the whole education system. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened. The teachers are under more stress. They have to reach their goals. It's so focused on this one exam. The pressure is not just on the students, it's actually on the teachers as well.
We're in a pressurised system. The teachers have got targets, the young people have got targets that are set way back when they're in primary school with their SATs. And then what we use is we kind of then extrapolate what those targets should be from that little young person who's 5-year-old in a primary classroom.
I'm here to talk to some GCSE students who are about to take their exams in May. I want to find out how they're coping with the pressure of performing well and what they think the government could do to accommodate all range of abilities.
I'm Zach Hayhurst and I am 16 years old.
I'm Thomas Busby and I'm 16.
I'm Henry Beanie and I'm 16 years old.
I'm Seth Hayhurst, I'm 17 years old.
You three are doing your exams in May, GCSEs. How are you finding the process of that right now?
I think it's quite stressful at the moment. I mean, there's a lot to learn, a lot to remember.
Yeah.
There's a lot of exams on 3-week periods, so you've got to get your revision planned out well.
Yeah, it's a lot of information, I think.
Yeah, lots of information to remember. Do you think that exams test your knowledge fairly, or do you think there are other ways that we can test intelligence?
There's a lot of memory involved, in English especially, in all the poems.
Yeah.
The content of the curriculum has got to change. We are fixated with this content-driven curriculum, being able to explain fractional distillation, to be able to do simultaneous equations, and they all demand a certain cognitive ability to undertake those things.
What else do you think should be included in the curriculum? For example, do you think in maths we should learn how to do a mortgage and how to do taxes, and like I said earlier, in English, writing a CV?
I think food tech should probably be compulsory.
Yeah.
I think
Why
it teaches.
food tech?
Well, I think it's just quite important skills that you need for the future.
Yeah,
just like
to
basic
learn how
stuff
to
to cook for yourself.
Do you feel ready to go into the workforce after doing your GCSEs?
Not really.
No.
It's not enough skills about getting jobs.
We've not learned directly about getting jobs and how it's like in the workplace.
How to apply, where to apply,
exactly.
how to write CVs.
Yes, exactly.
And also interview techniques as well.
First thing I'd say is any interview is a two-way process, right? So you are interviewing the business as much as they are interviewing you. is this somewhere that you want to work? Does it meet your values? Do you think you'd like the people there? Do you think you'd like the role? Do you think it would give you the opportunity that you want? So there's that. But what most businesses are going to look for are people will have similar skills to the team in existence, and that again depends on the role. But we talked about transferable skills, but the employability skills. So that is things like good communication, team playing, problem solving, critical thinking, all these things. So everyone's going to work in a team at some point. And that's really important because you learn so much from the people around you. But problem solving, critical thinking, you're going to do it all the time. Resilience, I mean, your generation has shown more resilience because of the COVID than probably an awful lot of generations. So you've had to deal with an unprecedented event, and so you've shown resilience by working through it. So again, just as I said earlier, it's about that being able to link your own personal experience with the skills that it's developed and what you might not even realised you've developed.
A pressing issue which has only worsened is, unfortunately, cases of mental health issues amongst young people. Rachel has seen an increase in people using her services as a counsellor and provides insight as to why that might be.
It's all over the media about there's such an increase in mental health for young people. There's many different layers and factors leading to this, but the actual overall exam system adds another layer, unnecessary layer, to children's mental health. The actual theory for mental health is it's if you're mentally unwell, it can have an impact on your day-to-day. Young people should definitely be brought into the conversation, and potentially we should use the resources of our young people to move forward and bring the education system up to the 21st century.
From my research into your work, I see that you're a strong advocate for verbal assessment. So do you think there's a place for verbal assessment and online exams?
Assessment gets fairer if you use more methods. If you just stick with written exams, some kids are disadvantaged from the word go, who might be quite good at oral, verbal exam. So I would certainly do that. And other systems do this. You get it in the French system, you get it in the Scandinavian system, the Italian system, where there's much more emphasis on oral work and whether somebody's understood it and can explain it and things. So I'd be a strong advocate of that.
My brother, he's dyslexic and really struggles with exams, so I think verbal and speaking assessment would be really beneficial for him. Coming from a dyslexic person yourself, do you think exams are a fair test of knowledge?
For me, I think I've developed different skill sets due to my dyslexia. So writing isn't good, memory stuff isn't good, and I feel like I've learned visually, which obviously you can't really show through the current exam system.
Dr. Love was both mine and Seth's teacher, so we both know how dedicated he is to inspire his students and to bring out the best in them. And his passion to the cause paid off.
Winning Biology Teacher of the Year was absolutely phenomenal, and I'm incredibly proud. And I'm proud of all the young people that I've worked with over the last 30 years in getting that award. And I'm very proud of all the people who developed me as a teacher in that 30 years. And I just want to say, Millie, every student that comes into my lesson, every one of them makes me a little bit of a better teacher every lesson. Do you know that? Every interaction, every young person that comes in, spends 55 minutes with me and then leaves, they make me a better teacher every day. And how lucky is that, eh? So to get that award was, it filled my heart with joy, but I'm proud of all the people who've helped me on that journey. And that includes you and lots of other people.
As someone who's gone through education without having done GCSEs or A-levels and is still going to university, it makes me question, are exams really the be-all or end-all they are made out to be?